Hi. I decided that I was going to go ahead and make another video because my videos are so short, because I have to keep them that way to successfully upload them. And I'm trying to be as thorough as I can in talking about these different subjects pertaining to survivors of abuse, particularly child abuse. And there's something that I wanted to add to the other video, but I had to share a particular story, an incident that happened to me. But I just wanted to say that anytime you choose to address things, and it's a good thing, it's a wonderful thing, it's a brave thing to do, and it's something that everyone should do that's been through childhood trauma and abuse. But I wanted to just let you know that there is always this backlash from that. And what I mean by that is, I used to just think, oh, I'll talk to my therapist about this and, whatever, it's no big deal. And then go home and for days maybe be irritable or cry for no reason or feel this deep sadness, and never associated it with the fact that I had brought up something that was very painful. And I'm letting you know that ahead of time so that, if you do decide with me on your side to help you to open up about something, whether that be through a psychologist, a therapist, writing it down, confronting someone, talking to a trusted friend, I wanted you to know, to be prepared, that there is a backlash. There is a period of time where you experience a lot of emotion because of that. Sometimes even nightmares. I've had that happen as well. Um, so I wanted to say that because that's important, I believe. The subject matter that I talked about in my first two videos on after the intro was about being addicted to chaos, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on that anymore, but I did want to finish that off with some things that you can do to help break away from that addiction to chaos that you're comfortable with. That's why so many domestic violence victims leave their abusers and go back and leave and go back and stay. It's that same principle. It's because that abuser is what they know. That's what they're comfortable with. It's less scary than the unknown of having to go to a shelter maybe, or a family member, get out on your own and be out in the unknown. It's just more comfortable, and it's kind of a phenomenon. People are like, why would they go back? He's beating them, he's scary, the kids, what? That's why. Because it's actually, it is more comfortable than the unknown. And that is part of the subject of being addicted to chaos. It's the same thing. But one tool that helped me, and I had given some in part two, about trying to take time out to sit alone with yourself. We live in such a busy rush society, and there's just constant noise and banter, that being alone can be frightening, even for somebody that hasn't lived in constant chaos. But choosing something healthy as an alternative helped me. Later in life, I pursued art. I taught myself how to draw very well. I taught myself how to paint, and I'm still in that art journey. Now, I'm not telling you that, go out and be an artist. That was just something that I loved. And Van Gogh said, and one of his famous quotes is that if there's a voice inside of you that tells you to paint, then by all means paint. And art is an awesome form of therapy. You can learn a lot about yourself. But I immersed myself in other things. Don't you think that the people in your life that have abused you, misused you, or neglected you, don't you think that they have had enough of your time here and here? They've stolen and robbed enough of you. Take that experience and what they did and turn it into your strength and your power. You take back your power. I was talking to a friend about that today when she told me a story about her standing up to an abuser in her childhood, and I just thought that was just amazing, and it took a lot of courage, but she took her power back. So a piece of advice about breaking away from being addicted to chaos would be to immerse yourself in another form of busyness, another form, some kind of beautiful distraction, not giving yourself away to these abusers. And let me say this too, this is another point. People that mistreat us or abuse us, especially when we're children and innocent, no child should be abused by anybody for any reason, but it happens more times than not. It's about them, not you. It's more about what's wrong with them. Okay? I know me personally, I used to feel like I was worthless. When I talked to people, I talked like this. I wouldn't even make eye contact. I might as well wear a sign around my neck. I feel like a piece of crap. But I wasn't. But it was so ingrained in me. And if it is in you, know this. You are worthwhile. You are beautiful just the way you are. If there is something you want to improve about yourself, you do it for you. They've stolen enough from you. So you have to make up your mind when you're ready that I'm worth giving back to myself. I'm not talking about being bitter at them or hating them or any of that. Because humility, and I'll touch on that eventually, is the most powerful characteristic that you could possess. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of maturity and power to be humble about things. But immersing yourself in something positive, that could be gardening. That could be thrill seeking. I love, because I've been addicted to chaos, but I found that I love roller coasters. There isn't a ride out there that I won't get on, and if it scares me, it's something I want to conquer, and it's healthy. That's, of course, not for everybody, but for you, it might be trying out something that you've never done before that you would like to do. But that's just another thing. One thing that's on my bucket list, besides doing this right here, what I'm doing for you, is I want to plant a tree. I know that sounds hippy-dippy and silly, and I'm not a tree hugger or new agey, but I want to give something back to the earth that's given so much to me, and also for all the losses that I have felt in my life. I wanted to have that as kind of a symbol of something that I'm giving back, and empowering myself to give back to something, to the universe, to God, to a higher power, whatever that is for you. So that's one idea, and I'm just throwing out ideas. I'm not telling you to go do these things, but every single one of you has a passion inside of you for something. Don't let another day go by where that is robbed from you. You may not be good at something, the first time, second time, third time, fourth time. I sucked at drawing. I sucked at art. I spent hours. I've cried like a child. And now I'm not too shabby. I can draw people. I can draw lots of things. I can draw from my imagination. And for me, that has been such a healing thing. So those are some ideas on how to break away from chaos and switch, flip that over into a different type of chaos, a beautiful chaos, getting out and trying things that are new, that are good and safe. Also, last but not least, because this is the longest video to boot, stop giving away your joy or your moment of happiness, your little moments, to random critics, to people at work, or even in your family. And if you got friends in your circle doing that, you need to maybe, cut ties. They're not qualified to judge you. No. Who are they? Really, who are they? They are not qualified. So don't give away your joy to random critics that just need to be sarcastic or negative towards you. Put a stop to that yourself. Just say, you're not qualified. We're pretty much all on an equal level playing field here. We all are fallible. We all make mistakes. No one is qualified to judge you unless they love you and they're coming from a place of love and concern for you. But anyway, that is all I wanted to share this evening. For now, to encourage you, and like, comment, and subscribe so I can keep these videos going. This one's getting up to over 13 minutes, but thank you for watching. You are worthwhile. You matter, and you're not alone. And if you comment, I will respond. And until next time, take care of yourself.